Hi, I'm George Jelinek. 25 years ago, at age 45, I was diagnosed with MS after my mother died of the same illness years earlier. Within weeks, I had developed what is now known as the Overcoming MS program, a formula that I hoped would keep me well over the long term. 3 months after diagnosis, realising the importance of expressing difficult feelings, I started writing regularly in my diary. Passing the 25-year milestone this year, and now aged 70 and perfectly well, I felt that perhaps my diaries might be of use to other people with MS facing similar hurdles. So in this audio series, I narrate my diaries exactly as they were written a quarter of a century ago, changing only one or two details to protect people described in the journals. I hope that listening to my own personal struggles, fears and occasional successes may resonate with you and trigger your own reflection. I hope you may also be inspired to give back to Overcoming MS, the charity, by joining a circle, perhaps even becoming an ambassador, by volunteering, donating or fundraising, or joining the conversation in the Live Well Hub app. Most of all, I hope that this very personal account of what I experienced can provide you with hope, real hope, that overcoming MS is possible. Tuesday, 10 October 2000. It seems a very long time since I sat down to write. Going back to work has been a traumatic experience for me. 5th week back now, and I've had real trouble adjusting. I find the tension almost unbearable after so many months of genuine relaxation and enjoyment. I'm approaching a really important point in my life. 3 days to the 18-month mark since diagnosis, and still 100% well. And 5 days to book publication, with all the changes that will bring. I can only guess at how profound the changes will be, whether it'll mean the start of a new career or not. The door has certainly been opened by Ian Gawler to starting MS retreats, if I want to step through. But I'm not really sure if I'm cut out for that. Like lots of things I've done in the past, the book just had to be done. And in some respects I feel I've done it and want to move on. Although I intend to enjoy the publicity. Normally I shy away from that, but this is different. I can put my hand on my heart and sincerely say what motivated it. So, although I know there'll be criticism, I should find it a bit easier to deal with than I normally do. I'll enjoy this weekend too. 18 months is a very significant milestone, and well on the way to my first flag, en route to saying I've it under control at 2 years. And then moving on to 5 years. It'll be great if I can get there and honestly say to myself and everyone else that I feel it's essentially no longer an issue in my life. Even if I can't get to that point 100% well, the sheer fact that I've gone 18 months and still am going strong means that any deterioration is going to be gradual. Certainly much slower than Mum's. There's plenty to look forward to. Looking back, December 30, 1999 was the start of my recovery, just as I resolved on that day. It reminds me you can do almost anything if you set your mind to it. Monday, 23 October 2000. I received the book in the post last Friday. It feels really great to have finally got there, and I'm enjoying it, while I can still do so in some anonymity. The fun really starts soon though, with interviews, etc., and I'm sure with many people contacting me. I'll have to work out how to deal with all of that. I've been thinking about getting the makers of Copaxone to sponsor me on a website that you could link to theirs, for example. I need someone professional, I think, as an intermediary between me and all the inquiries I'm bound to get. Maybe their trained Copaxone support team could be useful here. Perhaps the Copaxone injection nurse could be the go-to person. I'm still not sure whether a life devoted to MS is my path or not. I'll certainly find out over the months leading up to Christmas. But having said that, getting a drug company to sponsor me at this stage does raise all sorts of issues about conflict of interest. Anyway, I'll work that out. But how time flies. Christmas again so soon. But what a wonderful year 2000 has been. I couldn't have asked for more. Sunday, 3 December 2000. Sunday today, after the street party last night at our house for Christmas. Everyone was really interested in the book, and our neighbours had heard the interview with Verity James on the ABC and were keen to talk about it. Another interview with Adelaide Radio this afternoon. Life's going really well. I feel really even-tempered, much more relaxed, more sociable, and interested in other people again. The focus, strangely enough, seems to have come off me a bit, and I'm more interested in others now. I feel at a bit of a crossroads with career, though. The book does seem to have created a real alternative career path for me, and I feel maybe I should explore that to see where it leads. Life. Wednesday, 13 December 2000. 20 months today. I feel like I'm in the middle of a quiet consolidation phase. Christmas coming, some holidays, book publicity now dying down. All in all, it's pretty quiet. And I don't have much to get particularly enthused about. Things are going really well though. Apart from the occasional bit of fear about the future which inevitably creeps in, I generally have plenty of faith and optimism. I've always set myself 2 years, then 5 years as targets, and I'm rapidly closing in on the first. If I can get into that post 2 year period relapse free, which I feel pretty sure I can, then I'll really start to feel confident about the future. But day to day things are a lot more even than they've been. I've even started to get back into work a little more, and I'm enjoying life. I really hope there's a growing band of others out there who are doing the same. Monday, 12 March 2001. It seems amazing that this is my first entry for 2001. It's probably a reflection of how hard work's been now that I've been back for over 6 months and started doing those weekends at work again. I go from periods of quiet optimism and happiness to quite difficult times when I'm utterly exhausted, usually for a few days surrounding the weekend when I'm on at work. Even without the on-call component, I find the weekends almost insurmountable obstacles. I'm just not sure if I can keep it going, and I've even started thinking more about a career change. Anyway, for me, my focus right now is on trying to keep it together despite my difficulty in coping with work. It's not at all easy yet. Tomorrow is 23 months, then the daily countdown to 2 years. I have to keep reminding myself that no matter how shitty other things can get, I'm still able to walk, run, swim, and do all those things I've always loved. And I brought hope and joy to countless people with the book. There really is a lot for me to be happy about. Friday, 6 April 2001. Well, it's only 1 week to go until the first milestone is behind me. Yet, although I should be feeling really good and pleased with the achievement, I feel like one of those marathon runners who limps to the finish line, stumbling and falling over. The last 5 or 6 weeks have been awful. My attitude's been bad, but also I've been really fatigued, washed out, run down, with a stomach ache all the time. Really upset tummy for probably 2 to 3 months, and odd feelings in my legs and tingling around my chin. I've got to say I've been tempted to take steroids a couple of times, but there are no definite symptoms of a relapse, so I'm holding off. Worse though, everything just seems so much of an effort, such a chore. I just can't get the energy to do anything. It's awful. I've even come home from work a couple of times in the middle of the day for a sleep. Amazing. On the bright side, I've kept up my fitness. I'm swimming most days and jogging about every 5 days or so. But I feel like I'm just hanging on. Maybe I'll get a fresh burst of energy when I pass 2 years next week. I really hope so. I'm just so looking forward to 3 weeks off work in a fortnight's time. Oh well, for now I'll just hang in there. Sunday, 24 June 2001. I deliberately haven't looked at the last entry, which must be 4 to 5 months ago. I'm feeling wonderful, on top of work, happy at home, physically as well as at any time of my life, really. Planning for the future again, thinking about what to do in my sabbatical, deciding on what challenges to take on. After 2 years and 2 months of this profound lifestyle change, I'm really starting to reap the benefits. Plus, the book has been just great. So many people have contacted me, and despite my apprehension, all of the contacts have been really good. This afternoon with someone who contacted me was an example of how I'm moving my acquired knowledge from MS into a broader health arena. Lots to look forward to this year. Ian Gawler, visiting the Royal Melbourne Hospital, the Hobart Conference, all good work things. I'm just really enjoying things. It's actually pretty incredible looking back at the last entry now. Well, that's it. The first couple of years of my journey with MS. Reading back through the journal has made me realise how difficult, yet at the same time how rewarding those 2 years were. How I managed to chart a course through the difficulties to reach the profound wellness that I now experience 25 years on from diagnosis. It's further reinforced to me, firstly of course, that overcoming MS is possible. But more than that overcoming MS is a process and not an outcome. That living the process of overcoming MS is the very outcome that we're after. I hope the rawness of the emotions I've described isn't too unsettling. But clearly, like you, I've had many ups, downs, fears and joys that are common to most of us after a life-altering diagnosis like MS. In those first years, I visualised myself as a grey-haired 70-year-old man striding along a beach, and here I am. Although it's more of a saunter really these days, as I enjoy the sun, the beach, our puppies, but above all, being alive and being well. I trust this account can give you some encouragement wherever you are along your own path of overcoming MS. But through all the ups and downs, through the good times and the bad, please know that overcoming MS is with you on the journey. You're not alone.